We covered sales and we covered rentals and we covered loans and we covered borrowing items and we covered interest. And one of the things I said we need to talk about is gifts. But there's also something else we need to talk about, which is safekeeping, too. Safekeeping, let's start here because we talked about rentals, and the rental involves safekeeping. And also, we talked about borrowing someone's item, which also involves safekeeping. So let's take a look at safekeeping. It's very simple. What does it mean? Safekeeping is basically leaving a deposit. What's a deposit? Deposit does not become the ownership of the one who takes it, it's just holding it. Safekeeping is simply that you're asking someone to hold your thing for you, to keep it safe. And then, if you agree, which is sunnah, unless you know of your own treachery, may Allah grant us self awareness and honesty. I mean, unless you know of your own uh, treachery, that if you do hold something for someone, you will take it, you will consume it, you will break it, etc. Or you know that you are unable to fulfill the obligation if you take it, like your house is a crazy place and you don't have control of anything, nothing's secure in your house. Like maybe you have crazy people there. I was going to say you have crazy family there. But yeah, it could be. Like some people are wild, have their whole house is wild. Or you have naughty kids that go through your stuff, they steal your money, etc. All this type of thing. It's not secure. You know that you cannot keep it secured. Then you don't accept because then you will be treacherous. You will be, or if you want, a betrayer. Or the softest word I could give it is someone who deliberately gives bad advice. Your bad advice is, yes, leave it with me, while you know that it's not something you can take care of. So it's sunnah for you to accept if you know of yourself that you can perform the task. And why is it sunnah for you to accept this? Because it's helpful. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Wallahu fi auni al-abdi ma dama al-abdu fi auni akhi." Allah helps the slave as long as the slave helps his brother. Very important hadith there. If you want the help of Allah, help the Muslims. Inshallah, Allah will help you. So, how do you do this safekeeping? By storing this thing as it should be stored. As it should be stored. How should it be stored? Depends on what it is. Depending on what it is, its storage varies because its storage could be as much as parking it outside of your house, leaving it right there. Like a car, of course, or even a motorcycle. Maybe you just pull it on the sidewalk and leave it there next to your house or in the lawn, for example, or something like this. And this is proper storage for this type of thing. Or maybe needs to be in the garage, like an expensive car, or needs to be behind a gate. You need to store it properly. Or maybe all it needs for you to put it in the house and to close the door, like furniture. Or maybe it needs for you to put it in a safe, yani a vault, like a diamond or a pistol, for example. So each thing has its storage standards. Then, if you do that, then you are not negligent. If it got ruined in your possession after you stored it properly, you secured it properly, then there's no negligence here. When the person comes back, you give it to him when he asks for it. If you denied what he gave you and then he took you to the judge and then you told the judge, nah, I gave it back to him. Who's the judge going to rule for? Who the judge going to rule for? Judge going to rule for you. Ah, why? Because you're the one that he chose to leave it with. He saw to leave it with you in the first place. So if you denied it and then he took you to the judge, you told the judge, nah, I gave it back to him. I don't know what's wrong with him. Maybe he's trying to get some extra money out of me. Then the judge will rule in your favor. So maybe you might say, what? Wow. Or maybe you might say, more wisdom from the religion to make me be sure about who I do such a deal with. If I know that the religious judgment is that if I leave this thing with this person and then he were to deny it, and then if I took him to the judge and he told the judge he gave it back to me, the judge will rule in his favor. That means I need to think twice before I do all of that. Need to think twice about who I'm dealing with. There was a story about someone, there was a judge. He's called Ilyas. I don't know, Ilyas what? I forgot. It's one of my favorite names too. I think a lot of people love the name Ilyas. Judge Ilyas, he was a brilliant genius, rahimahullah. And there are stories about him. And there was a story about him that a man left a bag of coins with another man, golden coins. So when he came back, he asked him for his bag. So he said, yes, here's your bag, a sack, Yani. So he took his sack, was sealed. So he took a sack. And then when he opened it, he found it's full of silver coins. He left golden coins with him. He opened it, to find it full of silver coins. So that person denied anything. So the first one had to take him to the judge. So he took him to the judge, and the judge was trying to get to the bottom of the case. So the person said, Judge, I didn't take any of his stuff. Ask him, didn't you get the sack back exactly as you gave it to me? So the judge asked him, did you get the sack back exactly as you gave it to him? He said, yes, Judge, I did, but that's not my money. So the judge, he didn't rush to give a judgment yet, a verdict, because he felt that this man is telling the truth. That's not enough to give judgment, though, how you feel. But he felt he's telling the truth, so he didn't rush. So he started going through those coins one by one until he found a coin minted after the date that the money sack was given to the man. And this is what broke the case. So the man gave the money back. MashaAllah. That's how you get to the bottom of something. Some person telling you something, you say, wait, let me ask you this. Wait, what did he say to you? I didn't say anything. Such and such. What else did he say to you? He must have said something to you like this. Then you get to the bottom of something. Then if you do that, you'll find even the most talkative of people will go silent. Now, also, there is another deal that goes here, which is authorization. Authorization also, if there is an item involved, incorporates safekeeping. And we said rentals over here incorporate safekeeping or hiring. Hiring could involve authorization and safekeeping. What is the authorization? And this is also a very important deal for you to know. This means to grant someone the permission to do for you something. Here is the general rule, very useful. Anything you can do for yourself, you can authorize another to do it for you. Except body worships, except bodily worship. And that still has its own detail. So, what is this? Anything you can do for yourself. For example, can you sell your own belonging? Yes, then you can authorize someone else to do it for you. Can you pick up your own merchandise? You ordered some merchandise. You need to go to the pier so you can pick up your merchandise. Can you do that for yourself? Yeah. Then you can authorize someone to do it for you. Can you look at a specific item so that you can buy it? Because we already said if you want to buy a specific item, you need to see it. So is that something you're able to do for yourself? Look at a specific item? Yes, then you can authorize someone to look at it for you. But in this case, there is someone who's excluded from this rule just from the example I gave you. The blind man is excluded from this rule when it comes to something that needs to be seen. The general rule is anything you can do for yourself, you can authorize someone to do for you. The blind man, though, can he see? No, he can't see. So that's not something he can do for himself. He's unable. He's a blind man. So how can he authorize someone to see something for him when he cannot see himself? If this is truly the rule. This is truly the rule, and that's an exception to the rule. You have to think about things in this way. Like sometimes when you do something like that, someone will say, you're nitpicking. You're being too literal. No, that's how things go. You say to that person, I'm not being too literal. That's what you said. Yanni, say something different. If you don't want me to take what you said, don't say it. Say something else. Anything you can do for yourself, you can authorize someone else to do it for you. Can a woman give herself in marriage? No. Then she cannot authorize anyone else to give her in marriage. Can a woman authorize? Can a woman give anyone in marriage? No. Then she cannot authorize anyone to give anyone in marriage. Can a man divorce his wife? Yes. Then he can authorize someone to use one of his divorces, even his wife. He could say to his wife, I authorize you with one of my divorces. Then, as long as he does not retract that authorization, she can use it. She can say, I use your divorce, I am divorced by one of your divorces, for example. Or what if he said, I authorize you with all three of my divorces? Then she turns around and says, I now use the power invested in me to divorce myself by your three divorces all at once. Like this. Can a man accept a woman in marriage? Yes. Then he can authorize someone to accept her in marriage on his behalf. So he can say, Fulan, I authorize you to accept Fulana on my behalf in marriage. Okay. Then how does he do it? Then the guardian will say, for example, I give my daughter in marriage to Fulan, the one who's not here. And then his authorized person will say, I accept Fulana in marriage on Fulan's behalf. Then she will be married to that one who's not there. Can a man give his daughter away in marriage? Yes, then he can authorize someone else to give her in marriage. But he can't be present in the marriage contract. He can't be a witness to the marriage contract. If he authorizes someone else to give his daughter in marriage, he cannot be a witness to the marriage contract. Because if he is there, then his authorized person is unauthorized, becomes unauthorized. If he is there, his authorized person will become unauthorized. And likewise, the one who authorized someone to accept a woman in marriage on his behalf, if he is there, then the authorized one becomes unauthorized. So that's the meaning of anything you can do for yourself, anything you can do for yourself, you can authorize someone else to do it for you, except bodily worship like prayer. You cannot say to a person, I authorize you to perform my prayer for me. So anything you can do for yourself, you can authorize someone else to do it for you, except the bodily worship. So you can't say to a person, I authorize you to pray Salatul Dhuhr on my behalf. It's not valid. You're going to pray your own prayer. But you can authorize here, you are allowed to, you may authorize someone, you may authorize, hold on, gotta catch my breath. You may authorize someone to distribute your zakat. You may authorize someone to distribute your zakat. So you have your zakat money, and then you go to a trustworthy, knowledgeable person and say to him, this is my zakat money. Give it to a deserving zakat recipient. That's valid. Also, you may authorize someone to make Hajj for you if you are bedridden. I don't know how you spell that. Bedridden. Yeah, and you can authorize someone to perform Hajj on your behalf when you are unable to do it for yourself physically. Bedridden. Okay. It's 2 words. Bedridden. Yes. Thank you. You can authorize someone to perform Hajj for you if you are bedridden. Even hire him if he won't go for free. Hmm. The authorized person, if he is authorized with an object, you said so many marriages here are authorized with the authorized person present. Ah, yeah, no. I don't know if it goes across other schools, this Shafi'i school here. If this authorized person is authorized with an object, oh, bedridden, 1 word. Okay, thank you. Then the rules of safekeeping apply. He has to keep it secured, and he will have to pay if it is ruined by his neglect. But he won't have to reimburse you if he wasn't negligent. He will have to reimburse you if you were negligent. He won't have to reimburse you if he wasn't negligent. What are some of the examples of negligence? Negligence. I hope that's spelled right. Negligence. Here concerning this topic we are involved in, such as forgetting that it's not yours. Forgetting that it's not yours is negligence. So you thought it was yours, you forgot, you thought it was yours, then you spent it or you used it, and yani you consumed it. For example, it's gone now, and then you say, "Oh, that wasn't mine." For example, this was negligence. You have to pay for it. You must reimburse. Or improper storage. What's the example of improper storage? Like put the money in your sock. Said to you, here, take this $1,000 and give it to Fulan. You say, no problem. And then you put it in your sock. Then when you get there, it's gone. This is negligence here. This is not sufficient storage. Or even in your pocket merely. Just merely only in your pocket. You put it in your pocket, you went to Fulan, but by the time you got there, it was gone. That's on you. Or traveling with the object. Let's just call it money. Let's call the object money. Traveling with the money without permission, of course. That's negligence. Yani, if you lost it. Uh, exchanging for credit without permission. That's negligence, meaning you are authorized by someone to sell something. Then you sold it, though not for cash, you sold it to be paid later. So that's the meaning of credit here. He has to pay for it later. And you don't have permission of the one who authorized you to sell it for him. So that's negligence. Or improper usage. You weren't using it right, then it broke. That's negligence. You must pay for it. And we didn't talk about how you pay someone back too. That has rules too. Or overusage. You burnt it out. You worked the horse until he died. Or allowing another to take it or use it without permission of the original owner, of the authorizer. And then it broke. Now that's negligence on your part. Although, Yani, for the owner, you are the one who owes the owner, not that third person. Because the owner has no business with that third person. But you can go to that third person and say to him, you owe me. That's valid. Yani, after you pay, of course. He doesn't owe you before you pay. Perhaps there's some other cases of negligence too. Here's a case that the scholars mention under authorization also, which is the authorized person. Yani, no one, any person, not just an authorized person. No one can sell to himself. But they do mention this with the authorized person in particular, though. Yes, in the Hanafi school, a woman can give herself in marriage. No one can sell to himself. Won't be valid. You're welcome. How are you going to sell something to yourself? In the first place, if it's your stuff, it's your money and it's your stuff, then you're not, how are you selling something to yourself? It's all your stuff already. So that's not valid. So that's why they're going to say the authorized one. No authorized one can sell to himself. That means you have a store, for example, and you put someone behind your cash register, whether you hired him or you didn't hire him. But what's important here is you authorized him. So now he's doing that for you. And you went to go do whatever you do, and he's there in your store behind the cash register. And you have some chips that he wants. And he has money in his pocket. And he's the one there. So can he just take the money out of his pocket, open the cash register, put his money in there, close it, and then take those chips and eat them? That's invalid. Rather, what he can do is he can give someone his money and say, I authorize you to buy this for me. So then the other person takes his money and buys that so that he can have another person on the other side of the contract. He can't be both sides of the contract. That's the problem there. So he let him authorize someone to buy for him. So he behind the cash register is working on your behalf. Then that other one is going to be working on his behalf. Now you have two different contractors. So then that one will give you, Yani, if you are the one, let's say now you're the one behind the cash register, that authorized one will give you your money, but you're acting on behalf of the one who owns the store. So you're going to take your money from the one you authorized, put it into the cash register, and then he's going to take the chips, but those are your chips, and then he can give them to you. So here's your chips for you. So you say thanks. Or go to a different authorized person and say to him, I'm going to buy these chips. Here's the money. Here's the chips. Take the money. I'm going to take the chips. That's valid. Or you go to the owner himself. Say, I'm going to buy these chips off you. Here's the money. Here's the chips. Take the money. Put it in the cash register. Okay, I'll put it in the cash register for you. I think that's clear. You can ask a question if you want to, inshallah. But without this religious knowledge, a person is just going to put his own money in the cash register and just take the chips and eat them because he doesn't have the guidance. So since we talked about negligence, we need to talk also about reimbursement. I think that's with an I. I'm always spelling stuff wrong. Reimbursement, that means paying someone money back, like giving him his change back or giving him whatever he deserves back. Thank you. Okay.